Hey, what's up, y'all? We are going to start our first wood shop project, and the main goal for this project is to learn how to measure correctly. We will be using a ruler, not a tape measure this time, but often we will be using a tape measure in the future. We're going to be using inches. We'll also talk about how there's sixteenths. I mean, there is 30 seconds as well, but we're only going to go to the 16th. And then a little bit bigger than a 16th of an inch would be an eighth of an inch. And then bigger than that would be a quarter inch, a half inch, and then an inch. So we'll kind of break that down, and then we're going to work on making a design on graph paper of what we're going to do with nails and screws on a piece of wood, so that we can learn how to use, we'll actually cut the wood in half first with a saw. So we'll learn how to use a saw, a handsaw, and then we'll drill some pilot holes, and then we'll nail the nails in the pilot holes, and we'll screw some screws in the pilot holes, and then we'll make a design with some yarn around those things. So here we go. Get your graph paper, and okay, so I have my graph paper right here, and first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to count 3 squares down. 1, 2, 3, and then I want to show you that the 0 is not at the end of the ruler, and a lot of rulers are like that. So here, I got another ruler here to show you. The 0 is not right at the end, it's just a little bit in from the end right there. So make sure you pay attention to that. So the ruler is a little bit longer than the measuring system on it. We are using inches. This side is inches on the yellow ruler. Same thing. If you look at the other side of the ruler though, you have centimeters. Because this is wood shop or construction technology, we are going to be using the old standard system, not the new metric system. Maybe someday the metric system will take over, but unfortunately we're stuck using the old standard system for now. So here we go. I'm counting 3 down on the squares, and then I'm lining my 0 up with that edge line, and I'm gonna, to mark that, I'm gonna mark it at 1, and I'm gonna write 1 with 2 little tick marks right there, and those 2 little tick marks mean that it's an inch. And then I'll put a 0 here, and then I'll make a mark for 2 inch, 3 inch. Okay, so I've marked 1, 2, and 3 inch. And then I want to make a mark for the half inch. So in between 0 and 1 would be a half. So 1 over 2. And you should be doing this exact same thing on your graph paper if you have not already. So there's my half inch. Now on the between the 1 and the 2, we're going to mark quarter inches. So we can go ahead and mark the half spot right there. And then in between the half and the 1 and the half would be another quarter. So you have, there's a quarter inch in between here, a quarter inch between here, a quarter inch between here, and a quarter inch between here. And so you have 4 quarters, which makes a hole. And as you can see, each square is a quarter inch by a quarter inch by a quarter inch. So this is quarter inch graph paper is what it is. So it's pretty nice and handy. There we go. We got a quarter inch right there. Write that down. So you got a quarter inch marked. Now if we were to do eighths, actually we're gonna skip eighths. We're gonna go right to sixteenths, because I want you to do every single line on your ruler. There should be 16. 1, 2, 3, 4. So within the quarter inch, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4. and then it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 would land you on the 3-inch line. So right here, you can just up here write 1/16 and maybe make an arrow pointing at one of those little small spaces there. All right, so those are the different parts of the ruler. We'd like to be within 1/16 of an inch when we're measuring, to be, really accurate and precise. 1/16 is what you want to strive for. You don't want to be anything more. You don't want to be off more than 1/16 inch. Okay, so that'll earn you an A on all your projects if you are within 1/16 of an inch off. If you're a little bit more off, like 1/8, it might bump you to a B. 1/4 inch off on your projects would drop you to a C. And then if it's more than that, we should probably start over and do a better job on the project. So, and that's okay. That's part of learning. So you just get better as you go. Here we go. I'm going to draw a line to separate this side from the other side of the paper. And the first direction that I want you to do, number 1, directions. Make a 6-inch by 6-inch square over on this side of the paper. Okay, so that's, take your ruler and I'm going to line it up with the grid paper because it's handy like that. Make a nice straight line with your ruler. There's my 6, and I'm going to go to the 0. Don't go past the 0. All right, there's that. Now I'm going to work my way down the side. Take your time, make sure it's straight. I always put pressure on the ruler to make sure it's not going to slip, so I can have a nice straight line. And then this one's just connecting the 2 lines together because I know that they are 6 inches. Boom. Perfect 6-inch by 6-inch square. Now, the next thing that you're going to do in the directions, pick a letter you would like to have on your wall. So because this is McLaughlin Middle School, I'm going to choose an M. But I went to U of O, so I might also choose to do the letter O because I'm a big Duck fan. I guess you could do an O for OSU as well if you're a BU fan. You just have to choose a different color yarn when you tie the yarn on. So now when you do your letters, I should switch to a pencil because I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna try to go with 4 wide. So if I'm gonna do my M for McLaughlin, I'm gonna have this part be the leg of the M. And I'm using a pencil just in case I need to erase it. Like right here, I think I'm gonna go a little shorter there. Okay. And then I'm gonna have this be 4 wide, 4 boxes wide, which would be 1 inch, exactly 1 inch. There we go. And the top, I'm gonna have it be 1 inch wide. I think you could probably do 3 boxes wide and that would still work pretty well, but I like to have a very large letter M. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm choosing to use pencil because I'm not sure if this is going to turn out exactly how I want it yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, and I took me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So it looks like it's going to work out just fine. Okay, now for the project, part of this project is all about measuring. That's a big part of it. A lot of times we would be using something more like this, but this is for our drawing. So we're using pen, paper and pencil, and we're using a ruler. But when it comes to the wood, we're going to be using maybe this and a speed square. So this is a tape measure, and then we'd be using the speed square to make sure our angles are right. But for now, the plan is to mark, so number 3, would be draw the letter. With a ruler and straight lines. Number 4, mark at least 12 spots to drill pilot holes. So pilot holes are nice to have when you're doing woodwork because you can make sure that you're going to put the nail exactly where you want or the screw exactly where you want. So it's and it's going to go in the wood a little bit better, and it's going to not cause the wood to crack as well. So that's a couple reasons why you would do a pilot hole. I like to do pilot holes. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'll probably use nails in those holes, and I want to have 6 more for screws because I want to see that you guys can use both the hammer and nail and a screw and a drill. So these 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Those 6 would be used with screws. Now, if you chose a different letter than M, which it's fine, it doesn't really matter. Let's say you chose an L, okay? So let's say that I'm gonna just really quickly do an L. An L, the reason I chose this is it doesn't have as many different corners and things like that. So I want to show you how you can still get your 12 with an L. Okay, I didn't take my time to do as good of a job, but I'm just trying to show you something real quick. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you need 6 more. So you could put 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There, now you got 12. Okay, so it doesn't matter which letter, you can find a way to get 12 holes so that you can meet those requirements there. All right, and now we have our project draft, and now we'd be ready to go get our piece of wood. And we're gonna get this wood that I already had in the back room when I got into this room, so that's kind of handy. It's got this foil on it, you can take it off. It's not, it just peels right off. And then you're gonna measure 6 inches. Well, we should get our speed square at this point. And so that's going to be a different video. So I'll stop right here, and our next video will show you how to go from the drawing to the board and to start your cuts. Have a good day.